Good evening, y'all. We are on YouTube. Uh, we on YouTube. We are on YouTube as well. Somebody said the screen is freezing. I don't see that over here on this end. It looks like everything is fine. If your screen is frozen, log out and come back in. Let me do a little quick roll call real quick. Tracy Hinton, Glenda Donaldson, Shay Slater Harris, Sheila Luckett, Patricia C. Green, Joyce Ephraim, Tanya Reed, London Moffitt, Latoya Two, Audrey Jones Jackson, Christopher Page, Gladys Daniel Cooper, Sonia Burks, Murders Making White, Charlotte Roberson, uh, Shay Slater Harris, uh, Phoebe Jones, Christina Holden, uh, Gwinnett Crumbly, Jedi Jump. I ain't seen you in a minute, girl. When? Jedi Jump. You been hiding from me. You back over here. Cindy Gunn Musgrove. What's up, Cindy? Uh, and my sister, my sister from another mother, Joyce E. from faithful Joyce. Joyce, just bless your sister. Just God bless your sister, man. And I mean, Miss E from I ain't gotta say what you do. You know what you do. You're a blessing. Denise Allen, Britt. Damn, Britt, I ain't seen you in a while, y'all. Where y'all been? And Shay Miller. Man, we just got a lot of people here. Now listen, it's good to see all of y'all tonight. If this is your first time, we logging in from Jackson, Mississippi. We were supposed to be in the studio tonight, but the producer, he took a night off. And let me tell you what I did. I forgot that he told me he wasn't gonna be there. I drove to the studio to be in the studio at 8 o'clock, and I forgot that I wasn't gonna be in the studio. I had to come here. That's how geeked up I've been. I've been out there. If I sound a little congested, I've been cutting grass and hay all day, and we just glad to be here tonight. Big shouts out to my friend, my comrade, my brother, Pastor Dwayne Pickett and Sister Tracy Pickett. Been out. Their son is coming home from West Point tonight, so they are out enjoying him tonight. And big shouts out to Pastor Jackson. Big shouts out to Attorney Dennis Sweet. Big shouts out to uh, District Attorney Jody Owens. Big shouts out to our mayor, uh, and just so many more people who I'm telling you, man, this has been just a hell of a week. It's just a hell of a week. Uh, to all of our firemen, we love you, man. We love you. We stand with you 10 toes down. Whatever y'all decide to do, we're with you. To all our first responders, to all our police officers, I know, some of y'all are in between, rocks and a hard place. But this platform, we stand with you 10 toes down. To all our neighborhoods, Shady Oak, Bel Air, Georgetown, Vernadition, Presidential Hills, Ghost Town, Sub Number 2, uh, Northwest Hills, uh, South Jackson, Mason Street. Just big shouts out to all of Jackson, to all of you, man, to our school teachers, to everybody that provides insight, information, and all that you do for this city, for the citizens of this city, and for this platform. Uh, but I want to say a special shout out to Wanda Evans, 90.1, and Mr. Sherry over there at 90.1. I just want to tell y'all, we are super excited, and y'all will see next week. We are super excited about what is about to take place on 90.1, and that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say, man. I mean, home is, amen, amen. Listen, you know, so many people fought against this platform, and I'm talking about everybody fought. So many people fought against this platform, and we've made some inroads. We've made some friends, And we made some enemies along the way, and I can live with that. You know, at the end of the day, I believe we've kept it honest. Uh, we've dropped truth bombs, no matter who it was. We didn't spare anybody, all for the sake of building this community up. And it's just a blessing to be able to be on that 100,000 watt station every day. Next week, starting every day. Just, just every day. Next week, we just on the radio every day. Just, just, what else? I mean, just, that's all I can say. All I can say is that we will be on the radio every day. All right? I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I really don't, y'all. I don't know how I'm gonna manage being on the radio every day, going to work, doing the type of work I do, and then coming in the evening trying to give y'all a show. Don't expect it. I'm telling y'all, don't expect it. But we are super excited about being on 90.1 Monday through Sunday. That's right. That's right. That's right. We are excited about that. I mean, so the schedule, I don't know the schedule yet. Mr. Sherry is putting it together as we speak, but starting, I think, Monday, me, Pig, and Sock. Maybe all three of us at sometimes, maybe me by myself, or maybe me and Pig, or maybe Sock and Pig, or me and Sock. I don't know how, because everybody's not gonna be able to make. But we are scheduled to be on 90.1 Monday through Sunday, starting next week. People, I'm telling you, and y'all know I love talk radio. All I can tell you is what a blessing, and we will not let you down. We will not let you down. I'm telling you, the information that we're gonna be putting out, the content we're getting ready, and then let me say this because I can't leave this out. And just much love to the We Believe Digital Podcast Studio, and the production of our show and how they are marketing me and Pick and Sock, and just I'm just excited, y'all. I'm just excited. Y'all know me, I can't hold nothing, and I'm just excited about what the future holds for this platform. I'm excited about what it holds for We Believe Digital Podcast Studio. I'm excited for what it holds for 90.1 and Wanda Evers and Mr. Sherry and all that they're doing to bring quality content to this community. And to think that myself and Pastor Pickett and Socrates would be the front runners for that type of information is just it's more than I can just imagine. I never thought, I'm serious, and I'm gonna be honest, and I'm finna roast Arron, but I got to get this out. I never doubted where we would be on this platform, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm somewhat reserved as to how it's just all came together to have somebody like Socrates Garrett in your corner, to have a Dwayne Pickett in your corner, to have other people in your corner. It makes things so much easier. It makes all the difference. And we have all committed to have a Leroy Walker in your corner. We've all committed to doing what's best for the citizens of this city. And they Pick shared something with me today. He said, at the end of the day, you've talked about me. You've talked about everybody. You have not spared one soul in this community. And at the end of the day, I respect that. You have not been partial one way or another. and I haven't. And let people like David L. Arch, that said, Polo talks about black elected officials. We're supposed to talk about black elected officials. We're supposed to hold them accountable. We're supposed to put them under the gun. Their life is supposed to be under the microscope. They have been elected by you, African American people, to do a job. And when they don't do the job, it's my job. Notice what I said. It's my job to expose it. All right? They have a job, I got a job. It goes hand in hand, people. And so we're excited. We're excited about where this platform is going. We're excited about the people that have said, you know what, you've been out there in the wilderness long enough. We go partner with you. We go team up with you, And I'm my own man at the end of the day, people. Let's be perfectly clear. I don't work for Creedell Calhoun, Pastor Pickett, Marshawn, the DA, the mayor. Nobody can tell me what to say, how to say it, or who not to say it about. Now, they can ask me as a friend and say, well, Polo, we would hope that you might spare this here. But that's not guaranteed. In the 6 years that we've been on radio and I have seldom given a pass to anybody. I don't hand them out. I'm just saying, we're trying to change what's wrong in this community. And if that means that we have to expose some people, then so be it. You got to be exposed, folks. That's just the way it is. It's just the nature of the beast. All right. And tonight we're going to expose some folks. All right. We're going to expose some things. And I told you, I come with receipts. I don't just flap and talk. I come with the receipts. I produce the receipts. And we got those receipts here tonight. But listen, this is what I want you to do. We're in for a good show tonight. Not going to be long. I know it's late in the evening. It's Friday. And many of you are probably out and about doing what you do. But let me ask you to do this. If you really appreciate the platform, you really want to see this page grow, you know what we've been through as far as with Facebook and the council culture, if you would just go ahead and hit the share button. Everybody just hit your share button. It don't take you but a minute. Just hit your share button. If everybody would hit your share button, and then if you don't mind, tag one person. All right? That's what we need you to do tonight. Hit your share button and tag one individual. If you're a first-time viewer, thumbs up, regular viewer hearts, and let's get this show on the road. All right? I'm ready to rock and roll. Oh, let me give big shots out to my girl, who blessed me with 2 bottles of Casamigos. All right? I got 2 bottles of this good stuff here, Casamigos, that y'all love to talk about. And so that's our choice drink for tonight, Casamigos and Red Bull. All right? Because I'm tired and I need a wake up. All right? So we sipping on a little Casamingo and Red Bulls, man. And we are live on YouTube. See, we got a nice audience on YouTube. All right. And we're about to go down some roads, y'all. We're about to go down some roads. So people, listen. Don't nobody do it like we do it. All right. At the end of the day, y'all, there is not another talk show. There is not another blogger. There's not another newscast. There's not another personality, another influencer, another face in the community greater than this one. Not meaning myself, meaning you all. Talking about the Cypher Nation. We get the job done. We produce the receipts. We put it out there. We are the top news source in Jackson, Mississippi. You don't believe me? Ask CJ LeMaster. Ask Arron Pickett. Ask their bosses, their CEOs. Who breaks all the top stories and then they run behind them and try to clean them up and make it look like they're? We do. All right. And so when we don't report news because you can't get real news in 30 minutes. We report in-depth community news that you can use. from the Rudy to the Tootie. All right, we give it to you. All right, and we don't talk about regular people. We only talk about elected officials. Let's be perfectly clear. Now, if you are connected to elected official, if you are the mistress, if you are the booty buddy or something like that, then you're collateral damage, all right? And your son or daughter, you're collateral damage. Your wife or something, you're collateral damage, all right? And if you don't want to be that, then you need to tell your loved one, that's the elected official, to get out of public office. Because public office is public business. It's public. It's public service. It's public business. The public needs to know your business. All right. And so it is what it is, people. And that's just the way it is. All right. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. A lot of people get offended. Well, why Polo talking about that? Because you a public servant, and it's the public's business to know you messing up. I mean, if you don't want the public to know your business, don't get in public service. And if your business is raggedy, as a public servant, you got to know I'm gonna let the public know. Public servant means the public owns you. They need to know your business. And if your business is raggedy, like Arron Banks, I gotta tell him. I'm just saying. If the police have been to your house since 2014, and since 2014, if the police have been to your house over 11 times, that's the number after 10. So after you got 5 fingers, well, some of y'all got 4 fingers, but add another finger to it. So if you got 5 fingers over here and 5 fingers over there, that's 10. Well, that's a lot of times. Well, what's the number after 10? That's how many times they've been to Councilman Banks' house since 2011. So actually, one time a year, 2 times, sometimes. In one of these cases, they was a thing with police. He's fond of them. And more so, he's fond of holding his wife hostage. He's fond of getting drunk and being belligerent and I mean, acting. Well, we know that there's video and tapes of how he was drunk in Clinton and pulled over in Clinton, and it's clear that Councilman Banks not only is an alcoholic preacher, pastor, but he has some mental issues that seem to go unchecked. All right, and you got to just begin to ask yourself, you know, what's really going on? All right, what's really going on? Now, what we're talking about is Councilman Banks is one of the corporates who sought to derail the contract for FCC. Number one, that's number one. Not one, he did that not one time, but 2 times. And then he also voted to deny the mayor's emergency order so that the minority company, majority, well, because we're not the minority, but that a black-owned company could get the contract. And when you begin to look into Councilman Banks' life, and the fact that he propositioned Pastor Pickett to pay him for his vote, opens up a whole nother can of worms. But I want to look into his life. I want to look into what I told you guys was going on. And I told you, I've been telling you this. I've been telling you this. I don't get it wrong, people. I don't miss. I don't miss on these type of individuals. I told you that Councilman Bank was having a full-fledged affair His wife is aware of that. Uh, and we're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to talk about the women like Miss Banks, the women like Jackie Hollins, the women that stay in these relationships that know your husband is, number one, mentally abusive, number two, physically abusive, because Councilman Banks, we have the record to show that he's that as well. But not just staying because of love. Many of these women are victims also. It's really not about love. In this report, you'll see that Miss Banks talks about an argument that her and Arron had the night before, and then the following day when she tried to leave, he blocked her in and then barricaded himself inside the house while JPD was knocking at the door. And we're gonna get into that. But I want to just talk for a minute because some of you women have probably been in those type of relationships. So this woman, Miss Banks, she is fully aware of her husband's infidelity. She's fully aware of his abusive actions when on alcohol. Councilman Banks is also accused of jumping on his father, which is a senior citizen, and a man that has pretty much stuck beside him through everything. Now, this is one thing that I do understand. Councilman Banks' father is pretty much like any other dad. He understands that his son has a problem, and he's trying to hold on. But watch this. And I talked to one of my friends today that's deals with mental illness and psychiatry. And they says, whatever is really edging Banks and people like Archie, it's been there for a long time. It's and let's just be clear, people. This is what she told me. She says, Polo, usually these type of people have been molested when they were children or they were young. All right? Men, when you see men that behave like Councilman Banks and and Supervisor David Archie, they are hiding an internal hurt that is usually connected to sexual abuse. Never shook it, never able to talk about it, never dealt with it. All right. And so they go on through life and they need powers and positions to try to help them alleviate the trauma that they have lived with for so long. I mean, when you think about the fact, in 2021, he was caught in the room of, I think it's Bishop Hamilton, some bishop. Now, what they were doing in the room, I don't know if they were praying or praying on each other. I just know he was caught in the room with a bishop by the name of Howard Gilmore, Bishop Howard Gilmore. All right, in 2021, what happened in that room? I don't know. There are rumors that allegedly him and the bishop was having some communion. All right, they was sticking totem poles and communion holes. All right, and they were caught. All right, I don't know, people. I just know that I'm just saying that that is what has been brought to my attention, that him and Howard Gilmore, Bishop Gilmore in 2021 was sticking communion totem poles and communion holes. And I mean, I'm just saying. So it's long been said and been put out there and been, sprinkled on the four wings of the morning that Councilman Banks is suspect. All right. We know that he is close friends with former Mayor Yarborough, who his wife is supposedly Yarber's cousin. We know that Mayor Yarber is suspect. All right. Let's just keep it real. Let's just keep it real now. Let's just keep it real up in here tonight. All right. And so all I'm saying is this is that Councilman Banks suffers from some type of internal trauma. All right. He suffers from some type of internal trauma. That's a fact. And you'll find it in his actions. Watch this. Councilman Banks, Councilman Banks, let me tell you what he did. For 4 years, Councilman Banks rode around with an Alpha Phi Alpha tag on the front of his car. Never pledged, never been an Alpha, never filled out the application to cross over. But once he became a councilman and a pastor and preacher, then he put a tag on the front of his car and wanted to feel a part. Do y'all not realize how sick you got to be to do that? He wants to feel accepted. That's what I'm telling you. Some guys around with an A5A, and that ain't. If you go front, I'm just saying, if I'm gonna perpetrate to be in a fraternity, at least let it be the Q dogs or the Cowboys. A5A. I'm just saying, nothing against the Apples, but I mean, ass over ass. I guess that's what it means. I don't know. He wasn't a real alpha man, and no disrespect over ass. I'm just saying. But I mean, it's a sickness. It's a sickness for a grown man to be riding around with a fraternity paraphernalia on the front of his car. Cause it's just something got to be wrong with you. You wanted to be a part of a group, so hell, join a gang. I'm just saying, you could have joined the gang. Hell, they would have accepted you. I'm just saying, but a very deep type of sickness for a person that is a pastor, preacher, husband, counselor. That's a certain type of sickness. All right. And it's clear that Councilman Banks suffers from some type of sickness. All right. So now, and I said all of that to say what I'm about to say now. So on let me get my notes up. So on this day, and remember, Councilman Banks said to me that what I was saying about him holding his wife hostage was not true. Y'all remember that? And that's what the whole thing was at City Hall about. He tried to say that I was lying, that I didn't know what I was talking about, that it wasn't out there. There's no police report. Well, yeah, I told you I had it right. Listen. It's like Prego, people. It's in there. I told you I had the police report. What would make you think that I would just say I got something and don't get it? So on Saturday, let's just read it. So I gave y'all a brief synopsis of the type of person we're dealing with. All right, and that's right. 11, the number after 10. All right. So on Saturday, May the 18th, 2019, at approximately 7:52, a corporal by the name of Mance, I think. I can't read it too much. Was dispatched to 4722 Brookwood Place, all right, in reference to a disturbance. All right. So at 7:52, all right, in the morning. Now this was in the morning, y'all. This woman they done argued the previous night. Miss Banks with her lying self. She gets up the next morning ready to leave, and she can't because Arron has her blocked in. Listen to this. Listen to this, people. The corporal says, I arrive and speak with a black female identified as Latoria Banks. All right, got her date of birth, and whole 9 yards, who advised that she was trying to leave the residence. However, her husband, a black male identified as Arron bank was preventing her from doing so. Now, people, let me tell you something. This, I'm telling you now. I talked to my friend, and this is what men that have been buck broken do. So if your man is blocking you in, girls, ladies, yeah, you get in an argument with your dude and he blocking you in and taking doors off the bathrooms and stuff and just don't want you to leave. 9 times out of 10, he been tampered with. Just saying. Just, just saying. Just saying, ladies. 9 times out of 10, he's been tampered with. You might want to return him to sender. You know how they say, don't use if the seal has been broken on this product. Your man's seal's probably been broken, ladies, because real men don't do that. This is a trauma trigger. Oh, I've been learning today, y'all. I've been talking to the psychiatrist. This is a trauma trigger. All right. And when you got a man that's blocking your car in, taking your keys, hiding your keys, you trying to leave, right? You're trying to, you're not saying you're leaving permanently. You're not saying you're walking out or you're not returning. Hell, she didn't even have a bag packed. She just wanted to go and get away. She was tired of looking at this drunken stupor. But because he has a trauma trigger, all right, the moment she tried to leave, he done went out there and blocked her in. All right. So to this, because of this trauma in my life, I've been tampered. The seal has been broken, and uh, so 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 this is what happened. All right. So she tries to leave. All right. Listen to this. Trying to leave the residence. However, her husband, a black male identified as Banks, was had a disagreement uh the previous night. All right, now listen, this is the one time I'm going to give Miss Banks some credit. All right, so this sister says, you know what, I know I can't leave tonight. Kind of remind me of the story with David and Naya, when David had abused her and she had to wait till the next morning to get away. Most women are smart. I know I can't leave tonight. This Negro might try to kill me. Ain't no telling. All right. So she waited till the next morning to try to escape. All right. And Banks, the sociopath, the the traumatic alcoholic, drunk pastor, preacher, fool that he is, because of the trauma. Listen to sicko, y'all. I'm telling you. Some of y'all ladies know what I'm talking about. So some of you ladies are sitting up saying, you know what? I got a Negro just like that. The seal's been broken, ladies. You might want to check him. You might want to talk to him and have a long discussion and see is it something he ain't telling you. That real men don't do that unless the seal's been broken. I'm just saying. It came from a doctor. All right. And so try to prevent her from doing so the previous night, and she said they had a heated disagreement the previous night, and she went to sleep in a different bedroom. Now listen. Now this is when it gets serious. Now watch this, y'all. Now watch this. Come on, y'all. Let's be real now. Let's be real now. Let's really be real up in here. Dating couples, long-term relationships, married couples. I don't care how bad it gets. Listen, all of us have had some tough arguments, right? We've had those, right? But let me ask you this: how many of you, without leaving the house, have went to the other room and slept in another room? Usually, this she'll get in the bed and you turn your backs to each other. I just don't know a lot. I don't know a lot of, once again, I called around. I asked a couple of my guy friends, and they were like, "No, I ain't, you know, he might fall asleep on the couch, but my friend girl, she was like, "No, I'm going to get in my bed." Well, you know, I ain't putting, I'm not, I don't care how bad, I mean, I'm not gonna make him go in the other room. I ain't got nothing for him when he get in the bed. No talk, no, don't touch me, no. But uh, they slept in other rooms. Now watch this, watch this. I see, I'm good at this stuff. I can see Aaron because of his broke door all night, trying to see if she on the phone with somebody. And usually most women, after a heated argument, they either on the phone with their girlfriend. Let's just be honest. They either on the phone with their girlfriend, they either on the phone with their mama, or they either on the phone with that Negro at work. I'm just saying. And usually, let's just be honest, ladies, because ladies usually ain't quick to call the other guy when they in an argument with the main guy. Now, they'll leave the house and go see the other guy. But usually after coming out of an argument with their main guy, if they got a little friend guy that had been trying to hide, they usually not go call him in that residence, unless they really just like done. All right. Most women will wait and leave and then be like, well, me and him got into an argument. I got a lot of friend girls. They give me game. So I know how it go. All right. And that's usually how it go. And ladies, if I'm right about it, just go ahead and hit the thumbs up. If I'm right about it, ladies, go ahead and I know I'm on point. I know I'm on point. Ladies, if I'm right about it, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. All right. So 9 times out of 10, they're on the phone with their girlfriend or their mom. All right, explaining the situation. Now, so Aaron, the tamper type guys that have been tampered with, what they do is walk back and forth by the room all night, trying to listen and hear what's being said. So finally they go to sleep. But Aaron, now Miss Banks probably finally goes to sleep because women are exhausted because they are mental creatures. Arguments take more out of a woman than her going out there cutting grass or doing anything you can imagine. Negro, he can argue all day and be like, ain't nothing happened. But a woman, after she's had a heated argument with a man, she's tired. She don't want to be bothered. She want to go lay down somewhere. It has drained her because women use this in an argument. They're trying to think, how did we get here? Why this Negro don't understand what I'm trying to say? Does he not see his error? That's how women look at it. All right. And I know I'm right about it. Okay. Women look at it like, you dummy. You don't realize how you violated. You don't realize what you're doing. And so the whole thought process makes women tired after arguments. And so usually they go and lay down. All right. Women don't do like us. A Negro get in an argument with a woman. He think he doing something because he mad. He'll go screw the crackhead for $40. I'm just saying that's how Negroes do. But women, because they are mentally, they use their mind in arguments. That's why they always have to have the last word. That's why they always saying you don't understand, because what they're trying to tell you is you're not thinking, sir. All right, and so they're tired after the argument. So Miss Banks went and laid down, which most women do, and Aaron paced all night long, contemplating on how he was going to prevent her from leaving the next morning, because he's been tampered. He's been tampered. The trauma from being tampered with has him in this ideology of I own you, I possess you, because that's what the person that tampered with him told him. And so he went and blocked her car in. All right. Now watch how sick this guy is. All right. After he went and blocked the car in, she couldn't leave, so she calls the police. All right. Once the police arrive, uh, the corporal makes contact with Mr. Banks. by ringing the doorbell. Now watch this, people. This is the councilman. JPD is at your door. You know what you done did. You know you done cut up. And you the pastor, preacher. And rather be a good steward of your position. This is what he did. He didn't even open the door for JPD. That's a sign. If you were not guilty of anything, if you just had a heated argument, hadn't thrown nothing, hadn't committed miscellaneous mischief. And let me tell you what miscellaneous mischief is, people. It's when you put your wife's tires on flat. It's when you knock her windows out. It's when you hide her keys. It's when you take her phone. Those are misdemeanor crimes committed against a person, and mostly men do them that have been tampered with. Seal's been broken. Break your phone. Hide your keys. Unhook your battery, your battery to your car. Block you in. That's miscellaneous mischief. All right. And so, Councilman Banks, had he not done any of that, why would he not open the door? All right. Officer says, I attempted to make contact with Mr. Banks by ringing the doorbell, knocking on the door, on the rear entry door. And although he came to the door, he refused to open the door. Therefore, Miss Banks called him from her cell phone. So another David Archie. Y'all remember David Archie? When he put Naya's clothes outside and JPD showed up, he's standing there looking out the window. Man, you the supervisor. But you the same person that'll call the police on somebody else. I told y'all these guys are crazy. These guys are nutcases. So Councilman Banks is the same guy that want the police to help him. But he wouldn't even open the door when the police was there to help his wife. People, what? Come on now. Come on now. I mean, come on now. Come on now. Donkey of the day. All right. So Councilman Banks is standing there like a crackhead that done hit a $40 rock, eyes buck peeking out the window at the police, talking to the police from inside. Why you won't open the door, you idiot? What is it? What is it? What is it? And hey, maybe that's the reason why he's one of the ones that voted to take the money back from law enforcement officers. This guy, had you not done anything wrong, Councilman Banks, open the door. Open the door. I mean, what? I've never seen so many men that love to call the police on people, but then when the police come to talk to you, I ain't opening the door. You ain't got no business on my property. Man, these guys got to be stopped. Refuses to open the door. What? Ward 6, this is y'all councilman. This is what y'all got over there. No respect for law enforcement. And then you wonder why the children out here cutting up. This guy don't respect law enforcement. They at your house. They not there by mistake, Banks. They're there because they've been called. They're there because you are terrorizing your wife. The preacher, the pastor, is terrorizing the first lady. Amazing. All right. Yeah, he refused to open the door, and therefore Ms. Banks calls him on her cell phone and asked and tried to persuade Mr. Banks to open the door. So now his wife is saying, Arron, open the door. Just open the door. Open the door. This nut will not open the door. Law enforcement is at your door. You are a public servant. And you refusing to open your door? Really, people? Oh my God. All right. So Miss Banks to open the door so we could talk with him And again, he refuses. So Ms. Banks begs him to open the door so that officers there could talk with him. Once again, Councilman Banks refuses. Mr. Banks stated he would move his vehicle. Now listen to this. Listen to this, people. This is the kicker right here. This is the kicker. Councilman Banks, you know he been tampered with. You know he been tampered with. His seal been broken. I feel sorry for you, Arron. He says, I'll move my vehicle if she talks to me. I got a drink to that. This nut, he says, listen, like a first grader, I'll move it if she talks to me. Hey, I just want her to talk to me. I just want somebody. You should have been having somebody talk to you years ago when your seal was broken. Whoever it was, it ain't too late. I'm just saying. Was it your uncle? I don't know. Was it? I don't know. I don't want to speculate who it was, but somebody tampered with Banks when he was young. All right, and his seal's been broken. And listen to you people. If you look at the language, what grown man, what pastor says this to a law enforcement? See, this is the trauma setting in. He's going defense mechanism. I'll move it. This is the entitlement. This is the sickness. I'll move it if she talked to me. No, Negro. Move it, period. She's not obligated to talk to you. Law enforcement is at your house. And it's real. Banks stated he would move the vehicle if his wife would talk to him in private and not involve the police. She don't have a right no longer to not involve the police. Councilman Banks, the police have been called to your house because you have disturbed the peace. Kind of like Mr. Archer did down there at the county board supervisor meeting. Peace been disturbed, police been called. You don't have a right to say if they can be involved or not. They are there to fulfill their duty, to serve and to protect. Your wife called for a reason, all right? Now, the question is this. Why do you feel entitled to her talking to you in private? She doesn't want to talk. That's why she's trying to leave. She want to go talk to Jody or John Boy or I don't know, whoever. I don't know. But she wasn't trying to talk to you. And so your entitlement, because you've been tampered with, says, well, nope, you got to talk. Let me just say this. People don't have to talk to y'all when they don't want to talk, y'all. That goes for both parties, men and women. When somebody don't want to talk, they ain't got to talk. They just don't have to talk. I'm just saying. All right? And so that's a sign of a sickness. That's entitlement. I'll move it if you talk to me. And then he puts another request on it. So now you see his sickness. He's asking, he's in the wrong, but he's requesting things that he doesn't have privilege to request because he's the one in the wrong. That's a sickness. That's a sign he's been tampered. His seal's been broken. All right? So the officer then goes on to say, talk to him in private and not involve the police. Ms. Banks she insisted that she did not want to talk to him. She simply wanted to leave. What did I just say, y'all? What did I just say? Listen. She told the police, I don't want to talk to this Negro. I just want to go. Didn't I tell y'all that's how women are? She just wanted to leave. All right. After several moments of trying to reach an amicable amicable decision, and Mr. Banks stating that if we left the need if we felt the need to force our way into his home. So Banks, now watch this. Oh my God, this guy's a basket case. So Banks tells the officer, what y'all want to do? Y'all go force y'all way up in here? So y'all just go force y'all way up in here? And the officer says, no, that's not what we want to do. That's not what we want to do. She says at that point, she calls for a supervisor to respond to the scene. While waiting on Sergeant Pittman to make it to the scene, Mr. Banks then came from the resident and was trying to get his wife to talk with him and call off her request. All right. So once he realized that more officers were coming, he then tries to get his wife to talk with him and ask her to call off her request. Once again, law enforcement is already there. There's nothing they can do. I mean, there's nothing his wife can do. They have to do their own internal investigation. Make sure she's not in any danger or anything like that. Make sure he's not ready to kill himself or anything. All right? Now, listen to this. Now Banks uses his card. So this is what he does. When he realized the supervisors were coming on the scene, the supervisors were there, Banks states that he had spoken to the mayor as well as the chief of police. There it is. There it is again, y'all. There it is again. Sound like David Archie, right? Sound like that. So now Banks, who is in the wrong and afraid that he's about to go to jail, says, well, you know what? The police there to do their job. Well, you can't do it because I spoke with the mayor. I talked to Chief James Davis. I'm not gonna let you do your job. I mean, really? I mean, how many of you all can pick the phone up and call the mayor or call Chief Davis when you are in the wrong? Banks is supposed to be a pastor, preacher. He's supposed to lead by example. He's a council member. He's supposed to lead by example. He's supposed to answer every beck and call. Every command that the officer asks, he's supposed to abide by. Just before Sergeant Pittman arrived, Mr. Banks stated he would move his vehicle, but because he had spoken to the precinct where the supervisor had to be called, I advised him we would wait for the supervisor to arrive. See, once he realized he wasn't getting nowhere with this situation, now he's trying to move the vehicle and let her just go because he didn't want all the police there. Once Sergeant Pittman made it on the scene, he spoke with Mr. Banks, who then moved his vehicle and allowed his wife the opportunity to leave. All right. In the story. All right. So Councilman Banks puts on a whole show, y'all. On a whole show out there in his community, a nice community. He puts on a whole show, multiple police cars out there, supervisors out there, and he has literally held his wife hostage. All right. And people, I have been telling y'all that Councilman Banks is a fraud. He is totally a cancer to this community. This same council member that can't even pay his own church mortgage. And he literally sit up there and lied the other day on Pastor Pickett. Just a total mess. Now, a couple of days ago, His wife put a post up. She says, "Happy terrific Tuesday today. I want to take the time to say thank you so many citizens of Ward 6 as well as citizens of the entire city. My wonderful husband, Councilman Arron Banks, and I certainly appreciate each and every one of you that have reached out to us." This was the day after the little stuff with me and him. People, let me tell you something. Miss Banks is just as thrown off as he is. She has caught Arron cheating multiple times. She don't know how to leave. And let me say, big shouts out to Janine, Tyree wife, because she ain't going. I'm just saying. Let me just throw that in there before I forget. Janine realized Tyree been cheating with that secretary. She told that nigga, pack up and get out. Miss Banks ain't got that kind of courage. She don't have nothing else. She wants to keep her name in the lights, and she has Stockholm syndrome when it comes to Arron. Arron is a drunken stupor. He gets drunk. He talks crazy to his wife. He runs off and commits all type of adulterous acts on her. And I'm just saying, and then terrorizes her after he does it. No wonder the preacher's daughter just had a baby out of wedlock. I'm just saying, when you're a poor example in the household, you can't expect children to be like, oh, well, I'm not going to go out and have sex, and I'm just going to bring a baby home. Sometimes children do stuff for attention. Sometimes children go out and do stuff to try to mend the family. A lot of children grow up thinking it's their fault that mama and daddy are messed up the way they are. Let's just be real, people. I'm just saying. Councilman Banks, it's clear that you have some internal issues. It's clear that you have not been honest with this community 11 times. The number after 10, Star Mike. They've been to the councilman's house 11 times, homeboy. 11. Not 10. 10 would have been, just 10 toes down. But this Negro 11, and they might be there in the coming days to come. I'm just saying. Anytime Arron gets drunk and has one of his moments, police are called. All right? He's jumped on his father. He's terrorized his wife. He's created malicious mischievous mischief, and Arron he has a problem, y'all, and this is what I'm saying. Just like Big Mama, just like David Archie, just like all of these other folks who y'all know got mental issues, and y'all don't want to help them. It's time that we call them out, all right? And so, council members, guess what? We're not going to continue to sit here and let y'all act like y'all don't have a problem, okay? Arron has a problem. Virgil Lindsay has a drinking problem. And I'm going to suggest that they go receive treatment, because watch this. If you drinking all the time, you drunk all the time, and you have to have a drink to function, how are you having the best interests of the city at heart? How can you handle the business of your constituents if you're an alcoholic? Councilman Banks, you got a lot of explaining to do. You said I wasn't relevant. You said what I was talking about wasn't true. Then there's the other young lady that says she's been involved in a relationship with Councilman Banks for quite some time, and that he's been lying to her, telling her that he's not seeing anybody else, and he told her that the only reason I'm saying that is to make him look bad. You already look bad if you, I'm just saying, Banks, if you not living your truth, you already look bad. Live your conviction, brother. That's all I'm saying. So Councilman Banks, tonight's your night. And I know y'all thought I was going to come on here. I have not cussed one time. Notice that. Notice I didn't cuss. All right? I didn't cuss. I didn't use any vulgar words. My shrink friend told me today, she said, just go on there and talk about the subject at hand. It's a fact, Polo, that because sometimes the message can get lost, the meaning can get lost in the message, and I didn't want y'all on here laughing and he and ha, because this is a serious message. Councilman Banks' seal's been broken. He's a tampered. He wasn't tamper resistant. All right, he's been tampered with. All right, I think his wife knows that. He has some underlying mental issues as well as self-esteem issues. Because anytime you put an A5, Alpha 5 Alpha tag on the front of your car, you know you're not an alpha. That's a self-esteem issue, okay? All of that compound on top of alcohol can be a deadly combination. And that's real, people. And we got to help our brothers and sisters like that. We got to call them to the table. You don't want to go get you no help. You don't want to do what you need to do. Then guess what? I'm going to come down your road. All right? So, Councilman Banks, police have been to his house 11 times since 2014. His wife is a victim of his mental, physical, and sexual abuse. She is not happy. And she's told that to several friends. She's only hanging in there because of that's all she knows. And so people right there, that's what I'm saying. See, this is how I know this black community sit. Right there, this woman know her husband needs some help. His family members know he needs help. And his dad has tried to get him the help he needs out of the fatherly love he has. But Arron has even jumped on him. Yeah, physically. Oh, it's real. And so, Councilman Banks, you got a lot of explaining to do in this community. You ain't got nothing that we want to hear or say at this point. There's a vote of no confidence in you. Why you don't want to confirm certain people, there's a vote of no confidence in you. This community has no confidence in Arron Banks. What y'all think? What y'all think? What y'all think? He's a public official. I want to hear y'all opinion. Some of y'all have been saying, Polo, why you do that? I mean, it ain't personal. It's business. He's a public official. He owes us the decency, the respect. He got no business. He's a pastor. He's a preacher. He got no business jumping on your wife. He got no business jumping on your dad. He ain't got no business holding your wife hostage. Walk away. How? And then the police come to your residence and you defy the police as a public official? This is the type of stuff we're accepting now. Same way with David Archie. And we're going to talk about him come Monday. This fool done filed a lawsuit against the board of supervisors, the same board that he sit on. Now, who got to pay for that? We do? Come on, people. It's time to send these clowns home. All right? Bottom line, y'all. We got to do better. All right? So, that's it for tonight, man. We were right at 1 hour. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your Saturday. The young ladies, if you got a man that's taking your keys, breaking your phones, blocking your car in, showing you any type of entitlement, his seal been broken. Yeah, he's been tampered with it. I'm just saying, ladies, you might want to get them checked. All right? I'm just saying. Those all are trauma triggers. All right? Remember that. We learned the word tonight. Trauma triggers. All right? Men that have been tampered with have trauma triggers. All right? And I'm just saying, they do stuff like that. It's a sign that the seal has been broken. All right? Until we meet again, y'all. I'm just saying. Until we meet again, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. All right? And when my peace has been disturbed, justice must be served. You gotta know that. All right? That's all I'm saying. Have a blessed one, man. Enjoy your night.